We're continuing our look at industries and how they're faring under level 4 lockdown. You've heard about the forestry industry. Let's see how the wool industry's going. Joining us now from PGG Wrightson is Rob Cochrane, South Island Procurement Manager. And Rob, we know from talking to Sir David Fagan earlier in the week that pre-lamb shearing is still going on farm. What happens to the wool thereafter? Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Jamie. How are you? And how's the listeners? This level 4 lockdown is a bit of a concern, and obviously the pipeline gets wound right down. We've been in a situation where stores can't work. We can't process wool through wool stores and that sort of thing, or through wool scours. They're all closed. But from a farmer's perspective, if he is pre-lamb shearing, as you've said with Dave earlier in the week, that they can move wool into stores. So we do have strict protocols in the stores around people and receivals, contactless, etc. So we can unload wool into wool stores and it can be stored until we're allowed to start processing, which will not happen until we get to a level 3. So we're waiting with bated breath to see what may happen later on this afternoon.
The nation holds its breath. At level 3, can you hold auctions?
That's interesting. We can in a very limited way because of the strict protocols. So if you imagine an auction room where there are probably 15 or 20 people, we're only allowed, I think, 10 people in a situation under level 3 in a confined space. So provided we can have social distancing correct, then there is a good chance. The issues around that are buyers moving from one island to another and that sort of thing, and we just need to wait and find out what happens from there.
Do the buyers physically need to see and touch the wool? Yes,
they do. That's a very traditional industry. Buyers have strict requirements around what they do see and what they have sold to their customers overseas, and deliveries as a follow-on from that. So they do need to see it and touch it. There would be a lot of wool that possibly could be sold by description, but I would suggest that that's quite a long way down the track.
So the wool's coming off the sheep's back. It can be transported to a wool store. Therein, the supply chain stops. Are we in danger of having a bit of a, as I said to our forestry guy, Don Carson, a bit of a logjam?
Well, yes, I'm sure there will be a bit of a logjam. If we can't get wool processed, I mean, the process of wool coming off farm, because there's no room to be stored on farm and I guess to keep shearing continuing, to get into us once we get there, and we're just piling it up and waiting to be able to get more people into stores and get it going. We will have a bit of a backlog, and we've cancelled already 2 auctions, one in Napier and one in Christchurch. Was supposed to be one in Christchurch this week. That didn't happen, so we will be behind the 8 ball a bit there. It's a matter of getting wool through the system, samples away to the test houses, results coming back, etc., which is all going to take some time. So, yeah, we'll be up against it for a little while, but I'm sure we'll get through it. We've done it before.
And like every export industry at the moment, you are facing some real challenges, and I'm not sure we see an easy end to this one either with shipping.
Oh, shipping's a major disaster. I was talking to some colleagues within PGG Wrightson this morning about their importing stuff and the problems they're having, and the same problem with wool export. A while ago, it was all about just getting shipping space. Then all of a sudden, we ran out of container space, and now there's all sorts of issues with shipping coming to as far as Australia and perhaps not coming too much further. So there's, it's an economic issue for shipping companies to come down to New Zealand, and then we want to get wool away. Although we don't have to have food grade containers, as long as they're dry, we can put wool into containers and ship it away. It's a matter of getting that space, and it's just a nightmare. It's not going to get any better very soon either, Jamie, I don't think.
Yep, it's a real challenge for the entire export industry. Rob Cochrane from PGG Wrightson Wool, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, Jamie, and thanks